Zipping through time, old media versus new media and the convergence of media industries. Welcome to 2016, the year of Leo's first Oscar, Netflix, and the transition to community mailboxes in Ottawa. As we surpass the future, as Doc Brown thought in Back to the Future, new media and old media have grown very far apart. Firstly, old media can be thought of the sources your grandparents and great-grandparents used to get their news and information. Print media was the first type of media and news outlet. Radio was the second prominent invention that was used throughout both world wars and brought families together. Families would sit around the radio at newstime and listen to the daily occurrences, and more importantly, the lack of education was not a problem because the radio did not require reading. Next came television. Television was just as important as radio because it was able to pour just as much entertainment, news, and various programming, except it was able to transform our living rooms into places around the world through pictures and sound simultaneously. As TV entered its golden age, new media was already underway through the invention of computers, cell phones, and the internet. If we zoom to the future, most people use the internet, but most specifically social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter to read their news. Reading the news has become less important, and how many likes on Instagram now determines how popular and likable you are. Obtaining your news information through online sources is a popular method because it does not require a subscription or a few dollars to get your copy. Through the perspective of Thomas F. Baldwin, D. Stevens McCoy, and Charles Steinfeld in their journal Convergence, Integrating Media, Information, and Communication, they explain convergence is a heroic attempt to document the current and fluid state of affairs in technological, economic, and political environments surrounding the evolving convergence of the broadcasting, cable, and telephone industries. An important and growing topic in today's society in the previous article mentioned is media convergence. As Henry Jenkins explains in his book titled Convergence Culture, where old and new media collide, convergence occurs within the brains of individual consumers and through their social interactions with each other. This statement can easily be seen in the world around us. Take a look at your cell phone. It has a camera that can take pictures and record video. It has the ability to place and receive phone calls and take messages. It can also send and receive text messages and has an option to use the internet to search anything you can possibly think of. It has enough memory to hold all of your fancy applications and games, but most importantly, it is portable and can be taken with you anywhere as long as you keep it charged. It can provide you with any form of social interaction you wish. This type of medium has become prominent in our world because of its easy access. One reason for the convergence that has occurred with new media is because it creates a sense of interaction. As David Buckingham and Rebecca Willett describe in their book, Digital Generations, Children, Young People, and the New Media, technology is seen to create new styles of communications and interactions. Independence, autonomy, emotional and intellectual openness, innovation, free expression, immediacy, and an investigative approach. The internet also provides new means for constructing community. As most of us know, Maslow describes love and belonging as the third level of human needs, which includes relationships such as friendship. With the convergence of media, such relationships can be easily made, and the third level of needs can be completed to result in a happy life. This can explain the habit between humans and new media. As Sonia Livingstone describes in her article, the challenge of changing audiences, or what is the researcher to do in the age of the internet? In short, whether the media in question involved the peer-to-peer communication of email or the one-to-many communication of a global news network, new media and communication technologies are text-centered. They not only have a symbolic meaning as objects per se, but they carry multiple and diverse changing symbolic messages. Hence, where a sociological account of consumption or of everyday practices of use will suffice for the washing machine or the toaster, it will not do so for the Walkman or the games machine, hence the promise of a text reader analysis. With humans becoming addicted to new media, this leaves media industries longing for further expansion. Continuous development of old industries create a hook for consumers who long to explore the new technologies and construct a sense of habit due to the never-ending amount of information available at their fingertips. Andreas Nilsson, Urban Nolden, and Daniel Olson explain in their article, Mobile Media, the Convergence of Media and Mobile Communications, that as soon as a media channel proves to be either inaccurate or fragile, the consumer will abandon it for a more reliable alternative. This statement can be clearly translated into our current lives because in a recent study conducted by ComScore in 2011 states that 50% more Canadians were using smartphones by the end of the year than the year before. Social networking among Canadians has also increased by 2.7% between 2010 and 2011, and the time spent on entertainment purposes online has increased by 5%. In Tim Dwyer's book titled Media Convergence, he sums up the topic by suggesting that the term mediatization is the main component to media convergence. He explains that the term is used to reference experiences of how the media are implicated in the production and the transmission of messages about convergence and changing media industries. As we soar through this digital renaissance, we can easily pinpoint the effects in traditional communication. Although media convergence has reduced many communication expenses, the lack of social interactions can become problematic. Other obvious effects can include addiction, laziness, and online crime. This type of fundamental change in the world has represented the most significant shift in production and distribution of public information to date.